Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another standard gameplay video, this time featuring a blue-green or Simic land-based deck, and we're really focused around a card from Bloomburrow, Fecund Greenshell. So what is a Greenshell? Greenshell is a 5 mana 4/6 with reach, and it says as long as you control 10 or more lands, creatures you control get +2/+2. And then it has whenever the Greenshell or another creature you control with toughness greater than its power enters, look at the top card of your library. It's a land card. You may put it on the battlefield tapped, otherwise put it into your hand. So a great way to ramp and to potentially get up to those 10 or more lands, but also card draw as well, because if it's not a land, you just put it into your hand. And a lot of our deck is based around getting lands onto the battlefield and also that toughness greater than power trigger. So we have Insidious Fungus, a 1 mana 1/2 that we can then pay 2 and sacrifice it, destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, or draw a card and put a land from card from a hand on the battlefield tapped. Aftermath Analyst, only 2 copies of this, 1/3, and when it enters mill 3 cards, and we can pay 4 to sack it, return all land cards from our graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Clifftop Lookout, a more traditional ramp card, kind of a 3 mana 1/2 with reach. When it enters, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a land card, put the card onto the battlefield tapped, rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So we don't pick the land, but we do get it into the battlefield. Outcast the Greenblade, another 3 mana 1/2, and when it enters, search library for a basic land or a desert card, reveal it, put it in your hand and shuffle, and it gets +1/+1 for each desert we control. We do have quite a lot of deserts, so this can get quite big. This is not ramp, but it is land selection and make sure we hit our land drops. Then 3 copies of Dream Dew in Trancer, a 3/4 with reach, and when it enters, tap up to 1 target creature and put 3 stun counters on it. If you control that creature, draw 2 cards. So sometimes we may want to tap down, say, Fungus, because we can still sacrifice it when it's tapped, or Analyst for the same reason, or our Clifftop Lookout because it's already done its job to draw extra cards. Rounding out the creatures, we have 2 copies of Mockingbird, 1 on an X for a 1/1 flyer. But then when it enters, we may have it enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield with mana value less than equal to the amount of mana spent to cast Mockingbird, except it's a bird in addition to other types, and it's flying. So if we pay, say, blue and 4 for X, so we paid 5 in total, it can come down as a copy of a Greenshell, and obviously we can vary that X to basically copy any creature we want. Then we have 2 copies of Lumra, another card from Bloomburrow, a 6 mana star, Vigilance and Reach. And its power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands we control, and when it enters mill 4 cards, then return all lands from our graveyard to the battlefield tap. So this can get absolutely huge. The only downside to it is it doesn't have any kind of ward, so it can be removed, but also it doesn't have trample, so it can be locked into oblivion. Then our last creature, 2 copies of Spinewood's Armadillo, a 6 mana 7/7 reach ward 3. But we can also pay 1 and a green to discard it, search the library for a basic land card or a desert card, reveal it, put it into your hand and shuffle, and we gain 3 life. So this is often, we're going to channel it or discard it, cycle it, whatever you want to call it, for that life gain, for that land selection. But in the late game, we can pay 6 to get a 7/7. And rounding out the deck, 4 copies of Into the Floodmoor for interaction, 2 copies of Spelunking to cause all our lands enter tapped, and then our finisher really is 2 copies of Doppelgang, because we do get a huge amount of mana, and in fact in one of the games you will see I managed to cast X equals 12. We had 38 lands on the battlefield, which is more lands we have in our deck, but that was the second Doppelgang we cast, and we managed to get 10 more lands from our first Doppelgang. So that's it. So we do have 26 lands in the mana base, a couple of islands, 8 forests, 2 botanical sanctums, 2 hedge mazes, 4 lush oases. They are deserts, so they can be found with the Greenblade or the Armadillo, and they buff the Greenblade, and they do ping our opponent for 1. This is a great card to copy with Doppelgang because it basically deals damage. 4 Arid Archway. With Spelunking down, this is fantastic. The fact that it enters tapped and returns a card land to our hand is a bit of a downside. You do have times where we play out an Analyst and then we can play out the Archway and not really deramp ourselves too much, but it can be an issue if if you need that 3rd land, for example, to cast something because it comes into play tapped. And then 4 copies of a Conduit Pylons, another desert. When it enters with Sphere 1, tap to add colourless, or we can filter a mana by paying 1 tap to add 1 mana of any colour. So that is the deck. How good is it? It is slow. I think the problem in playing this in standard is there is not as much 1 or 2 mana ramp. In fact, there might, like, there's a Crimson Core, which is a ramp, basic forest, 2 mana, but it's not a creature. In older formats, Arboreal Grazer, 1 mana 0/3 when it ETBs, put a land on the battlefield, or there's a Kami, I think an Alchemy Kami that does something similar. They're really powerful because you can start getting extra lands. Getting to 10 lands for the Greenshell is no easy feat. Yes, the Greenshell will help you get there, but even with 26 lands, sometimes you go through just not getting them. Once you've got more than one Greenshell down, because they trigger each other, it is a lot easier. But when it goes off, it does go off. But also, I think the biggest problem as well is none of our creatures have evasion. So, for as I said earlier, Lumra not having trample is really like it can be a 20/20 and just gets jumped by a 1/1. Same with the Armadillo, it can be a 7/7 and just gets jumped, which is a real issue. And there's not as many cards, I think, in standard that can give trample. But even if there was, you'd have to make a sacrifice. I think you could do this deck in green-black and go a kind of reanimation route with Squirming Emergence, Overlord of the Balmerk, the Black Overlord. Sheoldred has higher toughness as power, so it would trigger Fecund Greenshell. But you would lose out on, say, Doppelgang, and you could swap into the Floodmore out for more removal. So you could do it in that, and maybe I will do it at some point. But because one of the problems as well is you play down Lumra and it gets removed. In a black green deck, you could get it back with the Overlord or a reanimation spell, so it would be less impactful. But it is fun when it really goes off, and there's one video in particular which really showcases the deck. It is quite long though, so stick with it. But I did enjoy it. I hope you all enjoy it too. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in another gameplay. We go first with an okay hand, I think. We can fetch another land with the Armadillo. Turn 3, ramp with the Lookout. I think we just keep up the Armadillo. So we seem to be up against a tokens deck. Let's just get a pylons. I'll keep Floodmore. Do they have the talent? Of course they do. It's going to be put in play. And next turn we can Greenshell again and keep up into the Floodmore. I'm guessing they have a Sun Call. Well, we can x equals 4. To get a flying Greenshell. This Blanket is just going to get a... let's go desert. They do get a draw from the carrot cake. Draw a couple, so they're basically at full. Let's pick up another conduit. Yeah, there we go. A Doppelgang would be nice. Their card draw is kind of annoying. Did we milled any Doppelgangs? No. Let's pick up a Conduit Pylons. Don't think we need another land at this point. Lumra not having trample is very annoying. Sure. I would just quite like a Doppelgang. But unless we draw one now, we are... Right. We have 20. So 4, 8, 12. We can... X equals 5. We'll take one of you. One of you. One of you. One of you. And let's just say... I'm worried about decking if we do Caretaker's Talent. Let's say you. No, I don't really need that. But we can play out a big old chunky green blade. Obviously, if I have another Sunfall, we will not be happy. That suggests they don't yet. Another Doppelgang, please. We can basically replay everything. Do we have any lands in the graveyard? We do not. And I think we Mockingbird X equals 2. So let's do, well, all their tokens have flying. So that's the issue. Maybe I should have swung out of everything. Yeah, I probably should have swung with everything. But we can gain 15 life. And scry 5 times. Right, let's see if we can find something good. Nope. Nope. A Doppelgang will do it. We discard through literally half our remaining deck. And there is a Doppelgang in there. Right, so they've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blockers. One does have lifelink. We have one, so we have 15, 22, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 5, 7. Yeah, I don't think we can. So I do think we still have a Doppelgang left. But they do have to block that, and since they have nothing on the ground. So at 23, so 6, 12, 19. Let's kill the vigilance things. Just double checking again, we've only seen one Doppelgang, and I believe I have 2 Doppelgangs. So what we do, we Doppelgang and just copy all our Lush Oases again and ping them for a bajillion. Their beast isn't an artifact. Well, that may do it. There it is. We don't have a way to draw it though. Well, let's... Probably should have attacked. But since I know we can win next turn, I don't quite get how we have less cards in our library than they do. How have we drawn more than them when they've had 2 talents going all game? Even if they Sunfall, we should be able to win. Oh no. Do they go for it? They do not. Well, we should win. So we have 26, 38. Minus 2 is 36. Divided by 3 is 12. There's a possibility we just break arena here. Yeah, we are creating 100 and something. So we have broken arena, I think. But we've also won. Which is the most important thing, obviously. Even if it's not an official win on arena, it'll be a spiritual victory. Although our opponent does have 4 timeouts to get through if this is what they're doing. So I believe we could create in 144 and they do just concede. Yeah, that was a close game. And they sunfalled twice. I do think if they'd started swinging in earlier, we probably would have been in trouble. But they were playing it safe. Obviously, they didn't realise we were going to draw that Doppelgang. Opponent goes first. It's not the fastest hand, but hopefully we can surveil into something. Oh no, that's not surveil land. Next turn we can play out the fungus. And maybe just Doppelgang to copy a land. Our opponent thinking about something. That took him a long time Let's play out the fungus. And then hold up into the Floodmoor. But I don't think there's going to be many creatures for us to target. "26 lands, we've not drawn another land yet. That's always a bit of an issue. See, Green Blade can get us one. If it resolves. Our opponent is taking their time. I mean, they're going to be able to replay it next turn, but it does mean it's out of the way. I think we go Spelunking. Wow, 26 lands and we've not drawn any. Well, let's play out the Green Blade. We'll just get another Arid Archway. Now the Archway enters untapped. And we can sacrifice our fungus to put the Oasis or maybe the other Archway into play. I'm not sure what's taking our opponent so long. No, they do have black in there as well. They've not been afraid to tap out, which is obviously good. So obviously they're a Fairies deck. Let's put in our Archway, pick up the Forest. Get down our Oasis. And I think we just get the Greenshell going. We can't do anything with 2, which is unfortunate. Next turn we could Doppelgang for 2. which I don't think we do. Let's just get down a big Lumra. And we can hold up the basically the armadillo. Let's start cracking in. We channel, cycle, whatever you want to call the armadillo, probably just gain 3 life more than needing the land. So we will have 11 mana next turn. Let's get another archer, I think. Well, let's legend rule our Lumra. The analyst. Pick up a forest. And we have 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. So we can Doppelgang for 2. Or we just play out another, I'm going to just play out a big old 7/7. I wouldn't be surprised if they do have a counter. But yeah, even if they had something else that could stun down one of our creatures, you know, we still had a lot of big bodies left. And next turn, I think we try and just get out a huge Doppelgang, probably copy in Pain Lands and maybe our Armadillos. Well, this is an incredibly slow hand. This is better. I think we put back the green blade. I'll keep another lookout. Oh, it always worries me when other decks do nothing. We can play out a Greenshell next turn. Which I think we do. Up the beanstalk. Obviously we do have Into the Floodmoor to deal with Glisser. We only have 5 though, so I'm going to play out the lookout. Well, we can fungus. Get another trigger. Can we play out another fungus? Get another trigger. That's fine. And then we swing in with our Greenshell, hold up Glisser. Sorry, hold up into the Floodmoor for Glisser. They like they're nowhere to runs. So we can't take out their Glisser, but we're in a pretty good position now. We can tap it down with the Entrancer. So we have 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 10, so yeah, we can do... Let's do the Greenshell. And then Entrancer. And this should just be lethal, I think. Yes. You know, that play, bouncing there nowhere to run, obviously saved our Greenshell, but whiffed basically most of their turn. Opponent goes first. We've got an okay hand. Couple of Into the Floodmoors. Yeah, I'll keep the Armadillo. Let's get another archway. Well, I'm going to do this now. Get a Conduit Pylons. Pick up a Conduit Pylons. And yeah, I think we just hold up into the Floodmoor. We'll bounce their Archfiend now. Well, I think if we cliff top lookout, we surveil from the hedge maze, Sure. And then we can archway, bringing back our forest and hold up into the Floodmoor again. And obviously the Greenshell is a pretty good chump blocker.
I heard you had some dead things that needed to stay dead. That's it. You're all done.
Well, that is annoying. But how much mana do we have? We have 9. So we can Doppelgang for 2. So I think we just create, copy their overlords. And yeah, our opponent scoops it up. We are on the play with an okay hand. We can turn 2 Analyst, turn 3 Spelunking. Don't need a second Spelunking. But seeing as this one will probably be countered. Oh, probably should have seen that one coming. Get down our lookout. Oh, they're on the Oculus deck. Oh, let's just play out another Spelunking then. I'm going to keep a Floodmoor because they'll probably reanimate their yeah. Well, we can Floodmoor away their Oculus and get out Lumra. We will, so we can surveil again. Yeah, I'll keep another Analyst. Let's tap down our lookout. Unfortunately, Lumra does not have trample. really just like Fecund Greenshell. Greenshell, sorry. Yeah. Probably should have done it before combat. There's another Lumra. Well, let's Lumra again. There's the Greenshell. Hopefully they don't have another Get Lost. That's fine, obviously we can replay it. We are going to take 5 though. But we can play out Lumra and Greenshell. Well, let's Lumra. And then let's swing in. And next turn, obviously, we can play out the Armadillo. We are down to 19 cards. We don't have any lands down there. Problem is, they're just going to start just be chumping with their face down cards. We really need another Greenshell. Well, that's incredibly annoying.